Hi, and welcome to this week's installment of Ask Emily. Our first question is from Tiffany, who says, did you have a bachelorette party before you were married? And if so, what did you do and who planned it, since you didn't have a bridal party? Looking for ideas for a friend who wants to keep away from the trashy stuff, but still have fun. So I did not have a bachelorette party. I was pretty much the anti-bride. I kind of felt like I had been to a few weddings where there were just so many things, so many obligations. There was the engagement party, the bridal showers, the bachelorette parties, that when you actually got to the wedding, people were exhausted celebrating you and your husband. So I didn't do it, but I think they can be really fun. Two of my favorite bachelorette parties that I have been to were held in big houses that were rented. So instead of having a ton of hotel rooms, that was a really nice way that everyone could have fun and be under the same roof. I think it's important to have kind of the days free so that people can kind of do what they want. They want to lie by the pool, hang out inside and read, or go into town, they're able to do that. But to plan things for nighttime. So maybe the first night you stay in, have a nice dinner at home, everyone can maybe cook together or order in, and then the next night to go out together. Lauren asked, your style has really evolved over the years, as well as the price tags. What advice do you have for women who are on a budget? So my advice for women who are on a budget is essentially the same as those who aren't, and that's to invest in classic pieces and spend as much as you can afford. And I know that almost sounds counterintuitive to spend more when you're on a budget, but really in the long run, having high quality pieces in your closet is going to last longer. If you have a trench coat that you get for $20, it might not be held together at the seams the next time it rains. And obviously those pieces differ from person to person, so that if you work in a professional environment, it's much more important for you to spend on a high quality suit. As for my style, it certainly has changed a lot over the years. I started my blog when I was 24 years old, and I was living in a tiny studio apartment, living paycheck to paycheck. I'm now in my 30s, I'm married, and I run my own company. So I can afford things that I couldn't back then, but I think my style philosophy has remained the same the whole time, and that's to invest in high quality pieces, but also have fun with trendy basics every once in a while that are a bit more affordable. Rachel asked, your house always seems to be so well maintained and welcoming. As newlyweds, it has been difficult for my husband and me to split up the housework. Even though he tries to help, I'm extremely detail oriented and end up spending days at a time doing a lot of it on my own. Do you and your husband have a particular cleaning schedule or chore list that split up and stick to on a regular basis? Well, first of all, thank you for your kind words, but let me assure you that our place by no means is perfect at all times. I only shoot it when it's looking its best. So there are definitely those days where I have a lot of laundry piled up or dirty dishes in the sink, but we try to stick to a schedule so that it's every 24 hours you need to clean up whatever mess that you've made, so it never gets really out of control. I also think it's important to do the things that you hate the least. So for me, that's dishes. My husband doesn't really mind taking out the trash. And one thing that actually goes a really long way is to acknowledge when someone has done something. I feel like it helps make it so that there isn't really any resentment, so that if my husband has totally cleaned up the living room that I left a mess the night before, I always make sure to say thank you, and he does the same for me. It seems like a really small thing, but it goes a long way. Thanks for tuning in to this week's installment of Ask Emily, and please keep on sending me your questions through my comment section on my blog or through social media with the hashtag AskEmily.